Good morning, Abby. It's Tuesday, and I'm about to sound like a horrible butthead of a human being. So, your punishment video was filmed on Monday, but technically it was not uploaded until Tuesday. I'm not going to double your punishment. I don't think you guys should have to do that, because you did technically complete it on Monday, but you didn't upload a video on Monday, so I think you're getting punished again. I don't know. Just for the record, I feel so bad about this that I literally have to hide behind the chair in shame right now. Okay, Abby, I sent you an email, and then also I left a comment on your punishment video, so reply to either one of those or both. I don't really care, so we can get all this cleaned up. And just in case Abby does get punished, people might want to leave punishment suggestions, because I don't know what her next punishment should be if she gets it. And now, a segue! So tell me, why is a raven like a writing desk? Because Edgar Allan Poe wrote on them both. So in English we read this story called Masque of the Red Death by Edgar Allan Poe, and it's a deeply fascinating and interesting story, but half of it is only interesting if you actually know what Edgar Allan Poe's backstory is, so naturally we learned about Edgar Allan Poe's backstory, and it is super depressing, and there's lots of tuberculosis. His dad abandoned his family when he was 1 year old, and then his mom proceeded to die of tuberculosis 1 year later, so he was adopted by John and Frances Allan. Poe really liked Frances, but he did not like John, at all. John wanted Poe to take over the family business, whereas Edgar was like, hey, you know, I kind of like writing about death, and I just do that for a living. And it does not help that Poe was absolutely horrible with money. He didn't really get a lot of it in his life, and what he did get, he typically spent on alcohol and gambling. It should be noted that when Poe was 22, his older brother died of tuberculosis, and then, not long after, his stepmom Frances proceeded to die of tuberculosis. Poe tried to go to military school, but then he got kicked out of military school, and then John pretty much just flat out disowned him. Then, at the age of 27, Poe married his 14-year-old cousin. Okay then. Despite the obvious weirdness of this marriage, even for the 1800s, believe it or not, Poe and his wife had a very happy marriage, except it was a short happy marriage, because Poe's wife proceeded to die of, say it with me, tuberculosis. Gosh dang tuberculosis! Calm down! What did Edgar Allan Poe ever do to you? And then 1 year on election day, Poe just kind of showed up outside a local polling place with no sense of who or where he was, and then he died like 4 days later. I think Poe's backstory adds a lot of value to his writing, because, I mean, why does this man write about death so much? Oh wait, because everyone in his life that he ever cared about died of frickin' tuberculosis. But the Masque of the Red Death is a particularly good example of this, because there is just so much symbolism that you can find throughout the story if you are educated on Edgar Allan Poe's life. I will leave a link to the doobly-doo to where you can read the story for yourself. There is a whole ton of symbolism in the Masque of the Red Death, and I don't have time to go through it, plus I would probably just make it sound confusing, and I don't know how to break it down. So what I suggest we all do is read it for ourselves and then just comment on, like, what we noticed in the doobly-doo. And also, I hope Kephart can do this specifically because, you know, she's kind of a literacy teacher, but, you know, if she doesn't have time, that's chill. Yes, because literary analysis always makes for a fun YouTube comment section. Of course, the challenge of the day is to read the Masque of the Red Death and, like, observe literally anything. Also, if Abby ends up getting punished, I need punishment suggestions, so that too. Also, I just want to say this real quickly, there's been a lot of current event stuff going on in, like, the past couple weeks that we haven't really addressed, and I feel kind of guilty about it. So, in summary, white supremacy equals bad, and Texas, we are sorry for the water. Abby, hopefully this video made, like, any sense, and also hopefully you don't die of tuberculosis, and I will see you tomorrow.